Good morning. Good friggin' weird morning. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mandy Perry, not Helen. Yes, some strange things are going on this morning. We're dealing with them. Okay, so this morning's topic, ooh, sorry, that just went in your face. This morning's topic is, are we being really honest about the price of distraction, the cost of distraction? Good morning. If you're coming on and you're in my tribe and you know me, please say hi to me so I know who's here. If you're brand new to me, please let me know that this is your first time and that you're new to me so I can come say hi to you. Good morning, Dana. Good morning. Oh, my team is on the ball this morning. You guys have no idea. I just flew home last night. I woke up this morning and realized that I left my laptop in the seat in front of me, in the pocket in the seat in front of me. Good thing I have a backup right here. But yeah, my team's on that, trying to find that, and then trying to find a driver to bring it back here. And then my team sent me a bunch of photos of this woman. Good morning, Liana. Good morning, Dana. Good morning, Kara. Hi, guys. Yay. The gang's all here. Okay, so then my team sends me these photos of this woman, Helen. It says invest with Helen, hashtag don't invest with Helen. Helen, who loves my face, Helen, has like stole all of my photos and everything. She has an entire Instagram of all my photos. It's so creepy. It was so creepy. And to see her weird marketing with my photos everywhere, that was super weird. I didn't like it. Not a fan at all. So then we had to call her out. And I was laughing because this is the thing. And I don't know if you guys know this or have experienced this, like depending on where you guys are at in your business, if you run groups, if you rotate groups consistently. Good morning, Donna. So here's the deal. Every time I launch a new group, it's because it's like, okay, so this is how I get ideas for my groups. I get ideas for my groups. Yes, it is crazy. Lots of craziness this morning. That's how I know it's going to be a fantastic day. It's going to be an epic day. I can already tell. So one of the ways that I always get ideas for my groups is basically like anything that I woke up to and I'm super grateful to have in my life. So like if there's like a result I have in my life or a way that I am that really supports me and serves me and brings me a lot of joy or a lot of success, I note those things because I'm in a habit of gratitude. Helen is even using Mandy's blog posts and signing them with Helen. Frickin' Helen. She just invaded like right up my anus into my body. She kind of pisses me off, I'm not gonna lie. Oh my God. Whatever. Distractions be gone. So, okay, which only proves my point. This is what I'm saying. So I'm just in a huge habit of gratitude. It's something I taught in the Awakened CEO program that really, really brings a lot of energy and life and happiness and obviously success too, because when you're thriving and high vibing, then you bring a lot of success to the table. It's just sort of how you show up in life. So, super distracted by this Helen thing. As I do this, what happens is I realize I have excellence in a certain area, and then I will design and create a program because I feel grateful for the results I have, for the training that I have, for the shifts that I have in that area. So I bring that to the table because I've already gotten powerful results in it. I bring it to the table and then I help bring people. Yes, I agree, Dana. So then I will, support people and create a container where they get to learn and show up and create the same kind of results and stuff in their lives. So what I noticed was this very interesting thing, and I'm curious if any of you have experienced this, anyone who runs consistent groups like I do. Every time I choose a program around a topic, this wave of massive lessons around that topic follows. And at first I was like, I got triggered and I thought like, am I being a fraud, right? Like I know you guys have had these feelings, right? Hey, Sarah. So the feeling was like, well, maybe I thought I have excellence in this arena, but I don't. And maybe I need to not be teaching about this. Like maybe this is not something that I should be supporting people with because clearly I have a lot more to learn about this. And so what I recognized and realized, like at first I was super triggered. And then this is what I realized. What you focus on expands. So as I may have excellence to a certain area, right? Like I have excellence to a certain area or level around whatever topic that I'm bringing to the table around whatever group I'm running. As soon as I bring a lot of attention and focus to it and I'm flushing stuff up, of course, only naturally I'm going to get brought to the next level around that same exact thing. So I get to do a refresher of all the things that have brought me success in the arena while I'm also flushing up all the things that bring me to the next level. So I was only laughing. Good morning, Janine. I was only laughing hysterically this morning because I just opened up a program called Refocus. And then I wake up this morning and I'm like all fired up. I'm like super focused. I'll explain something to you guys after about this. And then I realized I don't have my laptop, and then someone's like pilfering my blogs and my profiles and Instagram stalkers. And it was like, I was laughing so hard, like what, like, of course, it's only natural that I would get another wave of like the universe testing me. Like, okay, Mandy, this is the biggest game the role you've ever played in your life, holding space for other people who are ready to step into this. And we're going to double check to make sure that you're serious about being able to hold this container for people. And I'm grateful for that because I want to hold a powerful container, and I want to be in integrity, and I want to be a woman who can truly bring that to the table. And I'm happy to get tested on that, because if it's not something I'm ready or prepared for, then I want to know that as well, right? So it's very interesting. This morning was just like, yes, of course, this is how it works. This is how it goes. Yeah, who's Helen? Hashtag who's Helen anyways. That's perfect. Hashtag who's Helen. Okay, so Refocus is a 4-week program. It's a fast launch. I'm starting Monday. And this is why I'm just so like pulling back the curtain for you guys right now. Like, welcome to Mandy's life on the back end. So as I've walked into the single world as a single mother and a single woman, I've been dating, and I've been allowing myself to slip lots into my feminine energy. I've been, like working out and getting myself back in shape after, a divorce. That's just how it goes. That's how it rolls. All women know this, I'm pretty sure. This is how it goes. You get divorced, all of a sudden you look in the mirror and you're like, that's not what it used to look like. I didn't notice that. So of course I've been getting in shape and working out, and like I've been letting myself do these things, and of course absolutely loving the crap out of my entire business. And as I've been doing this, I recognized like, there's an energy that I bring to the table in my business that's been waning a little bit. Right? And that's it. Like, I've called it out, and it's familiar to me, right? So the reason I designed this program is because I've done it so many times. Like, over the 3 years in my business, the divorce diet. That's really funny. I like it. Okay. So over the 3 years of my business, like a lot of things have happened, right? Like, so first of all, I remember when I had people telling me, this new, like my old computer, it's like, I forget how to use it. I just want to make sure I'm getting all the comments. So, in the beginning, I remember when just traveling knocked me on my ass in my business. Like, I wasn't showing up as powerfully as I used to in my business. I wasn't focused on what matters in my business. Now, remember, the intention of a business is to make money. That's the point of a business. You, as a human being, your purpose is to reach lives, change lives, and whatever your specific calling is and what your gifts are that you bring to the table, what your zone of genius is, right? But a business, the purpose of a business is to make money and to support the people that are in the business and to create a brand in a business that will impact the world, right? So like that's the purpose of a business, and it is not a business without income. So the focus and the attention for the business has to be on income, on generating, on showing up how you need to be, so that on the back end, what you're doing and being in private is actually going to create that on the front end, and you're generating income for your business. That is the whole purpose of a business. So as we go through different life things, of course, it's only natural that sometimes our focus will be off of the purpose of the business, right? And like we'll get really focused on personal things, on personal growth things. We'll get focused on, our purpose. You know what I mean? Coaching, dancing, singing, artist, healer, etc. We'll get focused on our skill, and we don't stay focused on the purpose of the business and generating and making money, right? So I remember in the beginning, I had people who just put a lot of doubt and fear into me. Like they were just feeding their negative stuff into me because they didn't believe that I could do it. And then I sort of bought into that. So I got knocked on my ass. I remember being down for an entire month, and then I had to restart my business. Basically, I had to refocus. I had to regain that momentum. It was really hard. Thank you for the love hearts. Love you, Heather. Right? So I had to refocus from that. I remember when I started traveling a lot, like I was going to Bali, and I'm not going to lie, I'm such a wuss with time zone change. I don't know who else is like that, but like when I travel with other people, I'm like a walking zombie. I'm just like sticking an IV of caffeine in my arm and trying to get myself to go to sleep. Like it's ridiculous. Like I'm just really a wuss with time zone changes. I've learned some tricks though. They do help. I've got these human charger earbuds. Sticking your feet in the grass or ground, especially if it's warm, and then dinner, when you have dinner. Those really seem to support me and help me. However, I'm still a wuss with time zone change. So that knocked me on my ass because I was traveling, and it was like I didn't know how to run my business while I was traveling yet. And I got way behind in momentum in my business, and I got way distracted, and I had to learn how to refocus, bring it back to the table, and generate again for my business. Now, as I've gone and grown, I've learned that like I get to make money in my business no matter what else is going on. And when I'm distracted and I'm giving myself what I need in my own life, I still get to make money. Now, this is a belief and a quality that you get to like shift into. And because of that, you will show up differently and be open to different things, right? Like it's a very tangible thing. So then there were other things, right? Like I got married. Then I had to refocus on my business again after that. I moved the entire family across the country, had to refocus on the business after that. Got divorced, had to refocus on the business after that. Dating, had to refocus, right? So like, what I've learned is like, wow, I have this powerful ability to get myself to be able to refocus. And of course, when you're in the thick of it, you forget. Like, you feel like, I'm such a mess. I'm such a disaster. Like, why do I think that I can be like this organized global CEO who's going to impact the world? Because I'm just so distracted and I have all these things going on. But I call it my 911 plan, right? So basically it's like when you get into the red zone, when you've gone off track too far, when you're just super distracted by so much stuff going on. Let's say when your children has something painful going on, so easy to be distracted, and stay in that space. When a family member dies, when you're going through something tough and like you lose a pet or a best friend betrays you, or someone feeds some really negative stuff into your life, when so there's basically 3 ways or reasons why we choose distraction, right? So one of the biggest ways is to cover fear. So we have fear about something, we will choose distraction, we will let ourselves and allow ourselves to be distracted because we're afraid of something, right? The nervous system isn't scared of doing anything specific, it's scared about doing anything it's never done before. So anything that your nervous system has never been familiar with, it's never happened before, i.e. anything that you're doing to advance your business, or to go to the next level in your business, or to generate while you're distracted, all of these kind of things, right? So it's not scared of any particular thing. So we could put a finger on it and be like, oh, I must have these patterns or these subconscious beliefs, or my nervous system isn't aligned with this specific thing, like doing a Facebook Live or selling every single day or whatever it is. But that's not it. The nervous system just is scared of doing anything that it's never done before. For every human being, that's just how it is. And it's important for us to know that as we're going through life being wildly distracted, because we are choosing and allowing distraction because we're afraid, right? The next one is being insecure. It's really like, what if they judge me? If we have an insecurity about some part of ourselves that we don't believe in, we will allow and choose distraction, right? So, I don't want to use that example. We're not using that example. I usually always trust it. Okay, whatever, fine. I always trust the examples that come to me. Whatever. Okay, the example that comes to me is like, if I'm feeling insecure about how I show up when I'm dating, right? Then I'm going to get myself distracted from advancing the relationship forward. So maybe I'll date guys that are from all over the world instead of anybody who's local to me, because I'm feeling a little bit insecure, not really trusting myself to show up in a committed relationship. So I do things that avoid being around a committed relationship, and I allow myself to be distracted by anything that will pull me away from the thing that scares me or that I have insecurity about. You see what I'm saying? And then the other one is really just super basic. It's a sense of control. Like, we will use distractions as a way to feel like we're in control. So instead of stepping in and doing like, I'm going to show up every day and do my sales, I'm going to refocus on my income. I'm going to allow myself to feel the tension of the pressure of, can I make this happen? Can I back myself? Can I trust myself as I do this process, as I refocus on what matters in my business, building a strong business so that I hold a strong container for the people that I'm serving? One of the things that we'll do is we will do a bunch of the things that we're good at instead, because it gives us a sense of control, right? So distraction is not like, a lot of people talk about distract, like, oh, the iPhone and blah, blah, blah. Like, this is not it. And this is important for parenting too. I know that's completely out of left field, but this mattered to me when I understood this. It was a big deal. So when you're allowing yourself to choose distractions because of fear, or because you're insecure, or because you need some kind of control over something in the moment, it's an internal thing. It's not external. It doesn't matter that you have iPhones, or that something's dinging you, or that you have, TVs and music every second. Like, that's a misnomer. If you think about it, it doesn't even make any damn sense. It's not true for everybody. Not everybody's distracted by their iPhone. Not everybody's distracted by a noise in the environment or whatever else. It's how far have you let these things go so that you're at the point now where you're allowing and giving yourself permission to allow any kind of distraction to come in, because you're in a state of fear of moving forward to the next level, because you're feeling insecure about something and you want to control things, right? That's basically all that's happening. It's an internal state that's allowing you to be subjected to, to succumb to. I've been doing this word choice thing lately. I think it's because I have friends from other countries and they choose words and they're so interesting, the word choices they use, because they're not identifying, they're identifying with like definitions, not the way we do it. Anyways, I digress. It's an internal state that allows us to be subjected to and succumb to distractions. It's not an external thing. It's not. Sure, cleaning your environment does affect you, but that's not what's actually happening. And if we could just for a second, I love you. And I know that these things aren't always super comfortable, but if just for 1 second, we could just be really honest about the consequence and the price that we're paying for allowing ourselves to be super distracted because we're not dealing with that internal state. Because we haven't developed a 911 plan to know how to get ourselves to refocus on the stuff that matters. The first thing is that set point has to be correct. The set point has to be generating income. So I just got a phone call from Cleaning People. I forgot to shut the thing off. Do you see what I'm saying? So the first step is having the set point be correct, which we'll cover in the program that we begin on Monday. The second one is actually learning a 911 plan for yourself, the one that I've used consistently throughout my business, and I've never brought someone through that process with me. I just never have. And so, I'm at a point in my business where it's like that 911 plan's coming in. It's time to refocus in my business, and I realized how grateful I am for that skill that I have. And not just that, if I'm being really vulnerable and honest with you, it feels really powerful. Like I feel untouchable. I feel safe. I feel like I can trust myself. I feel like I can always back myself. I'm always allowed to go for and have the things that I want because I trust myself to really back myself up and make it happen. I know I'll make it happen because I have the skill to be able to refocus when I need to, and my set point is correct in my business. The set point is generate income for the business, be in a position of strength and power to be able to hold a powerful container for people around me, and use the 911 plan to back myself up. So therefore, I will always pull in any resources that I need. I will give myself whatever I need because I have this skill and this ability. So that's when I realized oh, this is really powerful, and I want my audience to have a chance to be able to learn this process and have this powerful skill for themselves to be able to refocus on what matters in the business. So the intention of this 4-week program, it's gonna be a bring it program, right? Like listen to me for a second, okay? And I've made this available for everybody too, right? Because this is a very high-end program, but this is amazing, this is incredible, and I'm excited to do this with you guys. Like I'm in this with you guys doing it. I've just done it multiple times and I'm very seasoned at it now, but it's the same exact work for me. It doesn't feel any different, except for it feels familiar and I trust the process. I trust it now because I've done it so many times. But really, it's like we're setting a goal and we're allowing that goal to matter, and we're allowing that goal to call us to more, and we're going to be responsible for actually the results that we get as we go through this process. And what that does is, yes, it's uncomfortable for a minute, but what it does is it starts to clean up all the mischief that's going around those internal states that we have going on. We have no choice. And what's the alternative? It's blowing up. Hold on, let me shut the silence thing on. Okay. I don't know, all these people are calling me. Okay, so is it comfortable for us to set a goal, like this is what I'm really gonna do in my business over these 4 weeks. We're gonna set a 30-day goal, right? And the goal is going to be monetary or some kind of physical, tangible result for your business, right? So we're gonna set a goal for the business, and then we're gonna set a goal that we know, well, if I continue to show up how I show up, I wouldn't reach that goal. So that means I'm setting a goal that requires me to move to the next level. It requires me to learn the skill to be able to refocus on the things that matter in my business, okay? So we're gonna set that goal, and then what happens is every single day, I'm gonna teach you guys the most powerful things that I've learned to be able to shift through this over and over and over in my business and bring it back, and that gives me that sense of I'm safe. It's okay. It's okay if I screw up. It's okay if I get off track. It's okay if I lose momentum. No matter what happens, it's always fine. It would be okay if my entire business fell apart completely for whatever reason. I could restart it because I have this skill right here, the one that I'm teaching in this program, right? So obviously I'm going on live every single week. I'm teaching you guys the skills and the gifts to be able to do that. I'm going to give you guys everything that you could possibly need to be able to really know and have and own this skill, and then bring that to the table for your people. However, every single day, we are checking in and being accountable for reaching the goal that we set this month to refocus on your business and bring in your focus and your attention to the things that really matter in your business, which is business results. It's income, it's your reach, it's your sales process, it's whatever it is for you in your business that you know that is going to move the dial to your next business. And it should be one that scares you. It should be one where you're nervous, where you're kind of maybe embarrassed to say it in public because you know in this group you're going to be accountable for reaching it. And maybe you're going to, maybe you're going to work through patterns of disappointing yourself and what your fear of disappointing yourself, your fear of, publicly setting a goal and doing life with other people instead of always making it look like it's better on the back end. Maybe you're going to know what it feels like to be called to more or be called out on some of the patterns that you have, the excuses and the justifications that you've been giving yourself to stay paying the massive price of distraction right now. Right? So that's a daily thing. Every single day, we're going to be working through the temper tantrums, the tears, the fears, the worries, the bad habits, being really bold and honest about what dumb shit we're doing that's causing us a ruckus in our life, and cleaning that stuff up and getting really clear, like, what does it take to clean this up? What is it actually going to take to shift this, to finally shift this behavior, to finally shift this thing that's causing me to miss out on my dream life? And that's the cost. Like, what is the cost? So what's the alternative to doing this work? Yes, I get that might feel uncomfortable. For some people, you're just gonna be like, hell yes, I'm done. Like, what is it? Oh yeah, I should drop the link. I think my team is off chasing my laptop. So they're probably not on this. The link is mandyperry.com/refocus. That is the link. It might be on my homepage, just mandyperry.com as well. I'm not really sure. I just got home, so I'm a little bit behind on the upkeep of that stuff. The team has been handling it. So the alternative to this is to allow those small little worries of not being able, the insecurities and the things that are popping up for you, the, needing the control and allowing the fear to push you forward and to push you in a direction that you're not wanting to go, and complacency. So it's just an ordinary life. It's complacency, and an ordinary life is 100% not okay for anybody who's on this live, because nobody on this live would be on this live if they weren't called to more. The only people that are drawn to this kind of living, the kind of living that we do together, is the kind of people that are called to something more. So an ordinary life is simply not okay for you. It's okay for the people that feel called to an ordinary life. That's not you. But an ordinary life is one where we're not facing those things and we're not working through the patterns that are coming up. And so the price and the cost of allowing the distractions, that is an internal state, remember? It's not like, oh, I'm just going to cancel Netflix. Yes, cancel the stupid Netflix if you need. If you're in a show hole, cancel Netflix. Change the have a friend change the password so you don't even know what the freaking password is. Do you know how many times I've done that? So many times. The motto is whatever actually works. Like, yes, it's about environment, and we're going to cover that in the group as well, but this is actually an internal shift for you to understand and work through so that you have the skill set to be able to shift that and turn that on the inside. You have a set point that's correct, and you know how to refocus and get back to that set point and generate and create the results that you want to at any time that you feel like you need to. At any time. I'm not saying you won't have a temper fit, but I'm saying that it's worth it, and I'm saying that when you show up 100% to back your dreams and to create and generate in your business, to create the results that you want to, it is so much easier than showing up at 60% and then freaking out and feeling all the tension and pressure and that drain, that creative drain, the power drain, all of the stuff that gets drained throughout the day, because you know, when you go to bed at night, you know, I didn't really do what it takes to make sure that this happens. I didn't grow to the level I could have. I didn't show up to back my financial goals for my business. I didn't, show up to back myself in how I eat and how I sleep and how I work out so that I have the vitality to bring to the table to generate for my business. I didn't back myself in the boundaries of the relationship. So like whatever the feeling is, right? Like I didn't show up and sell today. I didn't create a program today. I didn't have an offer today. I didn't show people the new thing that I'm selling today. I didn't let people hear my voice when I was singing today. I didn't show my art to people today. I didn't create an emotion around this kind of thing so that people had a chance to know what it's going to feel like on the other side of this. Like I went to bed and I didn't do those things today. I didn't get on the Facebook Live. I didn't let my voice be heard by the planet. I didn't call people to more today. And you go to bed and you're telling me that's easier? That's not easier. That feels like dying to people like you. People like you who are called and have a mission and a gift in the world, it feels like actual dying to go to bed with that feeling. You're going to bed with the music drowning you and stuffed on the inside instead of flowing beautifully out to the planet. That feels like dying. I don't know anything harder than that. That is the hardest. So opting into a program like this, backing yourself and investing in yourself, and then feeling your nervous system begin to adjust to the new level, and then making a really honest and open goal goal and then working every day to reach that is scary. It is. It's uncomfortable, but it feels so much better going to sleep with that under your belt than it does going to sleep knowing that you were distracted and avoiding doing the powerful things that were going to move your business forward. And then feeling like you doubt yourself because you can't trust yourself, because look at how you show up, so you can't trust yourself. So if you can't trust yourself, how on God's green earth are your clients going to trust you? And how are you going to emanate the confidence required for your clients to be able to trust you, to hold that container in that space for you when you don't even trust yourself? It's not going to happen. And it'll just keep sort of recycling the same level that you're at, and you'll wonder why, and you'll wonder why you're not breaking out of it, and then you'll blame whatever you're gonna blame, because that's what we do, when all that was required was for you to learn the skill to refocus and to actually set the set point correctly. And that was it. And that was it. And you'll be messy. You're not going to do it perfectly. You're not going to perfectly reach every goal that you ever set, but you are going to grow really fast and rapidly, and you're going to feel different. You're going to feel that power inside of you. You're going to start trusting yourself, and that trust in yourself is going to give you confidence, and the confidence is going to emanate and ooze out of all the contacts that you have with your tribe and your people, and you're going to get different results, period, end of story. And then also the set point is correct. So what our vision is at and what our focus is on is only going to expand it. And you and I both know when you set your mind to something, and you lock it in your crosshairs and you say, I'm done with that now. Enough is enough. I'm shifting that to the next level. You shift it to the next level every single time. Every single time. I'm not talking about that like in the moment, like, oh, okay, I'm excited, I'm going to do this. That's fleeting. I'm talking about in your gut and in your belly when that switch goes off. A switch goes off and you're done. And you know, and you could say anybody dead in the eyes, you could look them in the eyes and say, never again. It will never be that way again. I'm never going back to that. I'm never going to be that girl again. I'm never going to be that guy again. That is done. That is completely done and over with. And you know it. Every cell in your body knows it. And when you say it, it's like that third eye is like on somebody. Like the whole planet knows. Like when that switch goes off as a human being inside of you, it's never the same again after that. And you know it, and you can say it with perfect confidence to the human being in front of you that that is done, never again. And it never does happen again. And we're talking about you actually learning how to flick that switch for generating in your business, where every cell in your being is backing in alignment with that because your set point is correct and you know how to actually flick that switch. So it's not like this, like, okay, I have to do this again in the business. The switch went off. And then it's like runner's high, right? It's just like the momentum just pulls you. It's like you're just called and you're just pulled, and it's just like you just do. You just show up massively and you back it and you generate it and you make it happen. End of story. And so the other day when this program came to me, I was like, how have I not thought to teach this to everybody? It's like the best skill on the planet. I mean, what it feels like to have this skill is really incredible, and it's a learnable skill. I learned it. Anybody can learn it. All skills are learnable, right? You already know how to do it. We're just now applying it to something different, we're applying it to generating in your business. That's specifically refocusing and generating in your business. So it's a 4-week program. We start on Monday. It's a fast launch because I'm doing this. I'm doing this now, and I'm not waiting. Like I'm refocusing and bringing my business to the next level, as I've done many times in my business. There's a power and an energy that's behind it, and I'm not waiting on that. Like I've never done a quick launch like this before, but this is what we're doing. So it's for the people who are like, I'm resetting and refocusing right now. And you know that you are paying a high cost for the distractions that are going in your life, and for, I'm not sure, I'm confused, or why can't I just get myself to this, or why isn't this working, or like the excuses, the justifications, and this is about really having radical responsibility for yourself and allowing yourself to have the vision that's actually there, like the real vision that you already have that you're not maybe owning, and then really stepping into and backing that and doing it together with a whole bunch of other people, because the vibration of that is so different than trying to do it by yourself. Being able to do it with other people and having other people that you're locked arms with as you're moving forward in this is so different than that fleeting feeling that you have at home when you're like, no, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it by myself, and then 2 days later it's like, where did that go? It's gone. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We are flicking the switch completely on the inside, and that is a completely different thing. Okay, so we begin Monday. It's 4 weeks. Everything's live. Everything's in your membership area as always. Let me drop the link for you guys right now. Oh, the distractions of all these things going on today is hilarious. mandyperry.com/ refocus. I'm like 90% sure that's the correct one. Yes, it is. Okay, so I've dropped it in the comments because my team is doing lots of things right now. yes, 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 yes. Truth, exactly. Oh, yes, this just happened. It's so clear. Yes. Every single day. Look for the love gifts in all of this. They're there. Oh my gosh. Yes, that's an intrinsic thing now. That's just what happens when the squeeze comes in. I love that you know that, Janine. Yes, girl. High five. Okay. If you have any questions, support@mandyperry.com or PM me. But everything's on the sales page. This is a process and a journey, and this is one where you're not looking for the magical pill. You're not looking for someone to come to rescue you. You're not looking for a way out or a shortcut. It's not a shortcut. This is a power move. This is a power skill. This is savviness. This is being a powerful human being who shows up powerfully in your business and knows how to generate and create those results and knows how to take all of the stuff going on that's based out of the trauma, that's based out of habit, that's based out of the showing up like the people around you. Maybe you haven't been in a room of powerful people, so you haven't acclimated to that aura yet. You haven't been activated to this level, but this is about getting in that room, being around those people, and actually developing the skill that'll bring the results to the table. That is the point of this group. It's going to be a powerful group, and it's going to require growth, and it's going to require you showing up and having some grit and tenacity. Only you are going to be so loved and so well taken care of that it's going to feel easy. And that's the power of a group. It's why I run groups. It's why I do life with my tribe and my people. And that's why I decided, like, as I'm going through this process yet again in my business, and I was so grateful for this skill set that I thought, no, I'm allowing people to come in and do this beside me. Like, I'm going to show you how to do this, and we're going to do it together. And I'm going to be with you every single step of the way, the entire 4 weeks as we do this. And any question you have, everybody gets what they need. End of story. That is the commitment in the group. There are so many of them. I agree. I totally agree. Okay. I love you guys very much. I cannot wait to see you in the group. We begin first thing on Monday. I'll probably leave the doors open a little bit past Monday, but not much past Monday, because we're just diving right in and we're just doing this. And this is one of those things, like, like, are you all distracted? Are you chaotic? Are you telling yourself stories that you're confused and you don't know what you're doing? And are you noticing the same patterns repeating over and over and over? And are you really clear that you're not generating in your business the way you want to? And do you want that powerful skill to be able to refocus and show up and flick that switch? You know the switch I'm talking about in your business. Then it's just a hell yes, right? It's a hell yes if you know. Here's another tiny little tip. The other day, someone messaged me. They wanted to do one-on-one with me. I told them the investment and sent them the information. And then they asked for me to send them like a referral, basically. And I said no. And here's why. It's a very easy reason why I say no for referrals. Somebody else's results has absolutely and literally nothing to do with you. Like, nothing whatsoever. Somebody could have the most I'm going to pick someone who showed up really big and maybe had done a lot of work before this, and they've already been on the journey for a while, and now they're having 50K months, right? And I'm going to choose this person and I'm going to show you this person. What the hell does that have to do with you? Absolutely nothing. Nothing whatsoever, right? And my integrity, my level of integrity, and my energy, and how I show up in life just by my social media, right? So what would ever be the point of me having someone refer to you? That is you handing your power off to someone else. I don't trust myself. I don't trust that I will show up and make this worth it for me. So I'm going to come up with an excuse or a justification, or I need proof that this is going to work. Well, me sending someone else a referral who's crushing life to you so that they can tell you how amazing I am has nothing to do with you and isn't evidence that you're going to crush life. It's not evidence of anything except for that human being is showing up and chose an aligned coach for them, and that's that. So I was like, oh, I've never really described that, or I've never explained that to my audience. So that's just a super side note. But in the programs and when I run my stuff, my Diamond Mastermind that I run, the Happy and Wealthy Experience that's going on that you can still opt into. These are all programs where people have access to me, and I would never in a million years send a referral for anything like that. It does not serve you. It doesn't serve you. So even when I run programs like this, I'm telling you guys the price up front. I tell people the price up front for every single thing that I do, because I hold you as able to be able to tell yourself when your soul said hell yes to something, that you actually honor that and back that. And I hold you as able to be able to cross the finish line. Now, I'm happy to answer any question that someone has. Like, if you have a question about anything, I'm happy to answer that. I mean, I love answering that. I love Oftentimes when someone asks a question, it was like, oh shoot, we missed that on the, like, yeah, that's an obvious thing I should have told people. And then we'll add it to the sales page. None of that bothers me in the least. But what I'm not going to support and what I'm not going to back is the energy of I need proof that this is going to work, and that proof could come from any other thing other than you deciding to back yourself and you deciding to trust yourself when something feels in alignment with you and you feel that hell yes on the inside, and you're like it feels like calling yourself to more. It doesn't feel like I'm trying to do some magical pill. Like, oh, I'm going to find this other person who did really good and they're telling me that this coach is really amazing, and then so now I feel like, okay, well, Mandy will get me the results then. That's the energy behind that. It's very entitled. And we wouldn't notice it. I've asked for referrals before. We wouldn't notice that that's what we're doing. But when you're trying to get someone else to make you feel better about making an investment, you aren't backing yourself. That's not a powerful way to show up in the planet. And so I'm also calling you guys to more with this. I'm calling you to more on being able to be really honest about what you feel called to, and when you feel that hell yes and you feel that like, oh my God, yep, that's the exact work I need to do, not giving yourself permission to distract yourself and then get away from the moment where you had the clarity and you had the like, okay, I have the what's the word? I want to say balls. Courage. I have the courage to take that action right now. I have the clarity to see that that's the exact work that I need to do to advance myself to the next level. That's what I feel I'm being called to right now. And then you actually take action and back that up right now, and you stop looking for external validation to help you feel safe and better that you're going to show up differently. You're going to show up differently because you decided that you were going to show up differently, and you stopped telling yourself, I'm going to do this by myself, and you started actually pulling in support for you to be surrounded by other people doing it the same, and you could calibrate to the level of the room that you opt into. That is the work. It's very, very different energy than I'm going to try to get someone else to show me that I'm safe if I move forward in this. That makes sense? And I know, and I get it. The most powerful way my business is built completely organically. There's not a single ad, right? So everything's completely organic. So obviously when you guys share my videos, when you guys, shout from the rooftops about me and tell everybody about me, it supports my business tremendously. And I'm so grateful. Honestly, like most times I cry when people share, like you guys wouldn't know that about me, but like, I'm so touched, and I feel so honored, and I feel so lucky and blessed. And oftentimes it really touches me to my heart when people share my stuff, or they call me out, or they tag me in something and say like how I've helped them or served them. Like, I'm a human being. Of course that means everything to me. However, that is not the energy I call people to. Yes, that helps my business. I love when people do that. I think it's very, what's the word? It's a very abundant mindset when people do that. When I do that with my mentors, when people do that with me, it's a very abundant mindset. There's very little scarcity and lack and fear in that kind of behavior, which only serves and heals the planet. But that's very different than when a powerful human being is sitting there being called to more, and then they're looking for social proof to tell them that, yes, I should make this decision. Finding people and getting the message and voice out there and serving them, yes, all in, let's do life together. Thank you for the people who do that. Like, seriously, thank you so much. It means so much to me. When you're choosing to invest in yourself and back yourself and you're choosing a mentor, you do not want to be going to social proof for that, right? Like, that's not the point of social proof. Social proof is just showing you what other people were willing to show up for and back themselves for. This is a journey of you backing yourself and you being available for something more. Because I can tell you, I've invested in programs where I was the only human being who got tangible, physical, monetary results in any way. Out of groups of over 30 people, I was the only human being. And that's, so by all pretenses, anyone who looked at that would be like, it was a crap group. No, it was a crap mentor. Now, maybe. In the long run, it was. However, because I decided to back myself and because I decided the results that I was going to get, I got powerful results in that group, and that's what it is, right? And it's not like I was better than anyone else. I was probably more desperate than anyone else. Honestly, back then, I was quite desperate. I was in very desperate, destitute circumstances, and I just, the switch had been flicked. And so I made it happen. Right? And I know that's one little more level of scary, but again, remember the alternative. The alternative is not having that savvy, powerful feeling on the inside, knowing that you can back yourself and trust yourself because you have done the work to step into arenas where you learned the gifts and the skills to focus on the things that matter and then back them and generate them and actually create the results. That's it. Once you learn the skill and you do that a few times, man, you build that confidence in yourself and sky is the limit. And you're not going to be looking for social proof or for evidence from someone else to try to help you make a decision so that you feel safe. You feel safe because you trust yourself. And that is a journey to get there. And you do have to take brave action first to get to the place where you truly trust yourself, because you're not going to trust yourself by journaling. Okay? It's not going to happen. You will get the emotions to take the brave steps in order to be able to do the things consistently that will give you the confidence and to trust yourself. But trusting yourself comes from evidence that you've done something over and over, and now you can trust yourself, and that's just what it is. And I'm calling you guys to step into that journey and process of being able to show up that way so you can learn to trust yourself really powerfully, so that now the friction between you and moving forward in something is very limited. Like, it's really removed. The blocks that are there from you calling in your dream team, investing in whatever the next move is for your business, starting that podcast, running the retreat, hiring that mentor at the highest level so you get one-on-ones, opting into the Diamond Mastermind, whatever the thing is for you, there's very little resistance in between you and doing that, because you've learned to back yourself and you have the skills in order to do it, to show up in the way that teaches you how to trust yourself and have confidence in yourself and back yourself. Like, I'm a betting horse. When I say I'll do something, I'm going to do it, and people around me know that, right? Like, that's the goal. That is the place to get to. And it is the brave action, the consistent, brave, and perfect action that will get you a taste of who you are when you're standing in your power and you flick the switch. That'll bring the self-confidence and the trust in yourself. And then you will learn to back yourself to a whole new level, a whole new level. And it's really powerful and it's really amazing. So that is the call. Hi, Stephanie. Action, action, even scared, especially scared. If you're scared, you're on the right track. Look, if you're not doing stuff that triggers you and that makes you feel nervous and you're scared you're gonna fail and you don't know how it's gonna work, you're doing it wrong. Way wrong. That is called complacency. That is called same. Today will be the same as yesterday and the day before. I will make the same amount of money. I will make the same amount of impact. I will have the same exact life over and over and over every single day. That's what it is. The only way to grow, the only way to get to the next level is to actually do the things that are scary. And you're like, I don't know how I'm gonna make this work. Like, that's where all the good shit comes from. Life is meant to be this way. And one of the first things that my clients calibrate to with me is being able to handle a lot of pressure. The first thing that you'll learn to do with me, just simply being around my energy, even on these Facebook Lives, even when you read my blogs, is calibrating to the energy of like, you're allowed to have all of this. And when you're doing that, what's required is for you to be able to handle the tension it took to take the brave leap before you felt ready, before you had the proof. When you can handle that level of tension, and that's what I'm trying to say, the reason that I can handle so much tension and pressure in my life is because I trust myself. I trust myself. I trust myself to show up. I trust myself to back myself. I trust myself when I will screw up. I will get off track. I will do messy shit. I will let myself down and disappoint myself. I will feel all those feelings and emotions because I'm just a regular human being like everybody else on the planet. And I also will always come back. I will always clean it up. I will always learn the lesson. I will always strengthen. I will always season. And then I will always bring all those gifts to the world. And that is the magic of the journey. It's so incredibly beautiful, right? Okay. What's coming up for me is I need to do something with way more steps outlined and one-on-one support, but I know I actually need more trusting myself. Look, this is what it is. You don't think I felt this before? My God. Do you guys have any idea how much I pay for mentorship? Right? Like, it always feels scary to invest at the level that you know you need. But when you are called to something, you are called to something. And that's what it is. And you have two choices. Either today you show up differently, and then you keep showing up differently, and therefore you can let go of the fact that you might need some support or you might need to invest in something that way. That's the rule for myself. Like, okay, Mandy, you don't want to pay $2,000 for someone to come send you text messages through the day. This was so annoying. Someone to send you text messages through the day to remind you when to eat lunch, to take a nap, to schedule your workout for tomorrow. Like, if you don't want to pay that $2,000, fine, do all those things yourself. You have 3 days. If you do them consistently for 3 days, then you'll do them consistently for the next 3 days, and then you don't have to pay $2,000 for someone to send you text messages. If you go 3 days and you don't do them, or you even go 1 day and you don't do them, you have to hire that person, and you have to show up in life in a way that made that investment worth it. So then I go 2 days, I did not do it, I hire the person. Like, this is the standard that I call myself to. This is my standard for myself. Okay, Calvin's grades are slipping. You either are going to check his grades every day and you're going to help him work through the excuses that he has for himself, or you're going to let his excuses win, and then you're going to hire some support. And you have 4 days. You have a week. I think that one was like 10 days. Like you have 10 days to manage the grades thing and to really come to a place of clarity with him, or you're going to hire support. And then that one I figured out. So I didn't need to hire support for that one. But the truth is that like, it is what it is. You have a calling on your life. You have a vision in your life. You know that the distractions are killing you. You know that the overwhelm and the stories and the bad habits, they're killing you. The price you're paying for it is so beyond anything that we should ever be willing to pay for it. And so then we get really clear what we need, like what is it that we need? And then we call ourselves to that. And we need to stop telling ourselves a story of like, oh, I'll do it myself, or I should be, or I have to figure it out myself because I don't have the resources. No, if you don't have the resources, you show up and you generate the resources. You do what it takes to generate the resources. We really stop blaming other people. We stop blaming our circumstances. Stop blaming money. It's never the money, never. Up until now, the way you showed up has created the financial circumstances that you have. And if you would like different financial circumstances, then you show up and do something different. And you show up to a different caliber, and you get around people who are showing up to a different caliber, and you calibrate to them. You start beginning to own their standards and use those standards in your own life, and you back yourself up. And when you do that, you will create more power behind you that you could ever begin to imagine. But where people go off is they're scared to put themselves under pressure or tension to show up because they're afraid that they'll be even messier or that they can't trust themselves to handle the tension or the pressure. But if you think about it, when you're backing yourself and you're under pressure to perform, that is good anxiety. That is good anxiety. That is like, and you get to choose what you're focused on that. What is bad anxiety is I'm not showing up and backing myself, and now I'm going to sleep knowing that I did not show up in a way to back my vision and back myself, and I'm not creating my dream life. That one is actually deadly. That is the deadly feeling. That is the one that causes all the disease and all the pain and all the anguish and all the depression, the anxiety, all of that kind of stuff. The kind of anxiety that you feel when you're stepping in and backing your dreams, it does still feel like anxiety, but it's like a happy, powerful, oh my God, what's about to happen energy. And it's a really epic way. I mean, it's just an incredible life to live that way. And you learn to handle it easier and better and better. Oh, I feel like I'm dropping a lot on you guys today. But of course, Janet has her amazing questions. Yes, it is. It's just your nervous system readjusting. It's like when you work out, do you know when your body starts to shake? That doesn't mean stop. That means your nervous system is like, oh, we're not used to this. It's your nervous system physically adjusting. And you're physically shaking when you're working out. It's no different when you're doing brave leaps in your business and when you're backing your dreams and your vision and when you're becoming someone different and when you're choosing to be that someone different today and to embody it, the nervous system just begins to shake. That doesn't mean stop. Shaking does not mean stop. It does not mean stop when you're working out, and it does not mean stop when you're chasing your dreams. The shaking means I've done it. I've outgrown the place I was at. I'm no longer being complacent. That's the only thing happening is you are no longer being complacent. And now you're in a state of growth. And that shaking you feel, growing pains. We want growing pains. A lot. We want to always have growing pains. We want to always be under the tension and the pressure. And we want to know, to see what we're made of. And we want to fail because you'll learn epically from your failures. It's okay to fail. It's okay to not do it perfectly. It's never going to look like you thought it was going to look. But the only way you're going to grow, the only way you're going to back your dreams, the only way that you're going to create the life that you long for, the only way you're going to have the experience of life that you're desperate for, the only way you're going to make a lot of money and leave a lasting impact on this planet is by doing the brave things that scare the crap out of you and then learning to readjust at that new level and learning all of the skills for you to manage and handle that level in a really savvy, powerful way. And then you go to the next level and you're off doing the same thing all over again until it just becomes easy and it becomes the norm. And that's just how you live life. It's just how life is. And you're like enjoying and frolicking. Like I remember when a client said to me, like, they saw the pressure, because I'm honest with you guys. I tell you guys when stuff goes on, right? Like, oh, I was in the hospital and sick for 2 weeks, and then I was way behind on the finances of my business. Lost a lot of momentum, like all these things happened, and that can feel like a lot of pressure. And a client said to me, but you didn't look like you were under pressure. Like you didn't seem, and like people in my life, they see it like, oh, like they wouldn't know. They have no idea of any of the problems or troubles or stressful situations that are going on because I don't feel them. Like I don't feel them. I don't know how else to explain it. I acknowledge them. I sometimes make mistakes and get caught up in energies of things, but I don't feel the pressure like it's that kind of pressure. I'll tell you that in the beginning of my life, when I had maybe like a $600 bill, felt like way more pressure than having $100K in the hole that I get to figure out and become available for receiving fast, right? Like it just doesn't, I don't feel it anymore because the work that we're doing in this program is something I've done over and over and over to the point where like, it's just not a thing. It's like, like this is what I feel. You want to know the really honest, big truth, what I feel? In the moments when I have massive levels of pressure on me because of something happened, you know, in life or whatever happened, and I use the skill to refocus that I'm teaching you guys in the program, what I actually feel is like, oh, I'm about to go to the next level. That's what I feel. Like when stuff happens, I know it's for me. It's like, oh, I'm stepping into an arena and I'm going to be someone really powerful on the other side of this. Like, oh my God, like if I've come this far and I have all these skills and these abilities and like, you know, I basically do nothing and will, like if I literally did nothing, I would have a 30K month. If I literally did nothing, which I don't even know how to do, it's not even possible for me. Like it basically, if I just showed up and breathed for a month, 30K is coming in, right? Like 40K maybe, right? Like that's just from breathing. Like, holy crap, if I've gotten all the way here, how amazing is it going to be on the other side of this growth tank right here? Like, okay, let's like bring it on. Like, it feels uncomfortable and I'm shaking just like everybody else, but like I relate to it completely differently now. Even though the pressure's on, like, whoa, if I didn't actually create this result, this would all fall apart. Like that's real sometimes, right? Like that's the real thing. I don't identify it that way. I identify it as like, oh, that's big. So that means I'm going to be someone really epic on the other side of this, because the thought that I wouldn't show up and back it is just ridiculous. It's absurd. Of course I'm going to. I'm going to do it messy as all get out because that's how I roll. And I'll also grow to the other side of it. And it's exciting and it's powerful. And that's the way that it can feel and be for you when you're focused on generating for your business. It doesn't have to feel like suffocating, and it doesn't have to feel slimy, and it doesn't have to feel like, oh, I only care about money and oh, like, oh, this pressure. And if I don't do this, something bad's going to happen. It does not have to feel that way for you to be able to generate and refocus on creating a powerful business and the way to back yourself financially in this planet. It does not have to feel that way. This is the work in order to be able to shift that, to be able to relate to this completely differently. And then the energy, all the extra freed up energy that you have around it, you dump and pour into generating, which by the way, will only get you more and more and more results, which is why when you see people and their income just keeps rapidly going, we're like, how? Do you see? Does that make sense to you? Because now you're freeing up all that energy and you're doing the things that you weren't doing before. And now you're backing yourself and you're generating in a way that you never were before because you were caught in this cycle that was just draining the crap out of you. Your set point was off and your skill set wasn't there. And the ability to be able to hold the pressure and tension while enjoying life and having fun wasn't there. But once it's there, it all changes. It's not complicated all the time. This is the person I'm going to be in life. I might as well embrace it and get on the ride. My body won't handle containing it. But aren't we happy? Aren't we happy that like we will literally vomit the music out? Like, aren't you happy? It's a gift. It's for you. You will be under so much tension. It'll feel so awful not refocusing and not showing up powerfully to design and create your dream that you will be required to move into something else. However, did you know you don't have to wait till it feels like that? You can just simply opt into it and choose thriving. Like, I'm just going to advance to the next level because I am. And that's why, like, I'm just going to continue, like the pendulum just swings forward. Like, man, this has been amazing. Man, I've created powerful results. Man, I've gotten these awesome, like I can't believe how far I've come. I can't believe how advanced I've become as a human being. I can't believe the powerful results that I create in my life day to day. I love who I am. And I'm just going to continue to advance it forward and move it forward. That's how it gets to be. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to wait until shit's crazy in order for me to be able to say like, oh my God, I've made such a mess. Now I have to refocus. Now I'm going to join Mandy's program. This can simply be, I'm just refocusing to a whole next level and 10xing all of this. And the pendulum can just continue to move forward. That's really the place we want to get to. We do not want to be waiting until we're paying a huge, heavy cost and then finally be willing to take the brave leaps. We don't want to take brave leaps out of desperation. We want to take brave leaps out of inspiration, out of having a vision, out of creating that vision, out of like just wanting to be like, this is the human being I choose to be. And I'm going to be this human being today because it's going to feel like death when I go to sleep tonight if I'm not. And I don't like feeling like I'm dying. I like feeling like I'm living and I have lots of vitality and love and joy. And that's how I want to live. And so I get to show up today and I get to be the human being that backs that because that's what feels good. And I just get to do and have what feels good. It's really like, that's it. You do not have to make and resist and avoid making powerful decisions because you're afraid of the tension and then you feel all the pressure of not showing up and the results that you've gotten from not showing up. Like that feels worse. It does. It feels worse. It's not a sales ploy. It feels worse and you know it. yes, it's hard to back yourself and to really be like, I don't know, like I'm going to invest in this and I have no idea how this is all going to work. And that does feel like pressure, but that feels so much better than knowing that you are stagnant and that you are cycling and that you are stuck and that you are making excuses and that you are not living up to the potential that you know you could be living up to. That feels worse. That feels like dying. Yes. Okay. I threw a lot at you guys. Sorry. If you feel like you got value in this video, please share the video so that we can spread the message. If you're on the replay, I heard a rumor. I don't know if this is true. Somebody on my team told me, or somebody not on my team, told me that they're tracking hashtag replays and they're lowering the algorithms for videos that say hashtag replay. So I feel like now is as good a moment as ever for us to come up with a new hashtag when we're doing a replay. Hashtag I'm here. That's what we're doing. I should have said that in the very beginning of the video, but I didn't. So if you're on the replay, hashtag I'm here, and I'll learn to say that in the beginning of the video. That is the new one. Hashtag I'm here. Yeah. I like that energy. That's a good energy because I care if you're here. And I'm glad you're here. But I know you said not knowing what we want to do is an excuse, but I don't know how to move forward when I don't see a dream. Okay, I'm going to be so blunt with you. I love that. Like I'm so glad you just said it. Like you just said it like it feels like you own it. There's nothing wrong with that. You haven't, if you don't know what your dream is, you haven't simply sat your ass down at the table with your journal and written out your dream for an hour or 2 or 7 until whatever it takes for you to be like, I finally let it out. That's my dream. That's my vision. Literally, that's it. Set your timer for 2 hours, sit down with your journal and write out your dream. You just haven't done that yet. And if you have done that, then set it for 2 more hours. And if you've done that, set it for 2 more hours. And if you've done that, set it for 2 more hours until you have your dream and your vision. I promise you, if you set your mind to that this week, you will have your vision and your dream, right? End of story. The only reason we don't have the result is because we didn't sit our ass down and do the thing until we got the result. That's the only reason. There's nothing else going on. Whatever needs to get cleared in that process will get cleared. You get to have your vision. That's it. Oh, girl, you're so welcome. I remember I went through that and I remember what that felt like. Do you ever find yourself in a circumstance that's super uncomfortable and has big, unexpected challenges because having that is what you needed to see yourself in a new way? Do you ever find yourself in circumstances that's super uncomfortable? Yes. And has big expected challenges? Oh, like I'm put in the expectation that there's going to be challenges? I'm sure I have. But that's not really what's supportive. Okay, here's a potential energy shift for that. It would basically be calling in what you want, keeping your locked on the vision, like this is what I'm calling in, and I get to have this or something better. And I trust and know that everything that happens between now and it, which I'm not going to predict because we suck at predicting. Oh my God, we're so terrible at predicting. Like, just stop predicting. You don't know. You're terrible at predicting. You don't know what it's going to take in order to be able to create it. And you don't know what lessons are coming. Like, you have no idea. No clue. So just stop trying to predict what they are. But we get to be willing to be like, okay, I'm here. I want to be there. I get that I'm going to grow in order to be like, I'm stepping into a new me and it's going to require growth pains. I get that. I'm okay with that. I also get to call in the fact that everything that happens and understand and know that everything that happens between when I decided to back myself and where I ended up, right? I ended up here. Everything that happens in between here and there is exactly for me. It's literally designed for me to learn whatever the thing was I needed to learn. And oftentimes it's not something you expected. You had no clue that oh, what? That was the thing? I would have, the things that come up that I'm like, I didn't know. Who would have ever thought that I would calibrate to being around a very healthy masculine man would be part of me living my purpose in my business and generating to the 7-figure income? I would have never guessed that. How the hell would I have ever put those two together? I would have never, ever put those two together. Only I find that being the biggest lesson going on in my life right now, right? And it's a very, it's allowing myself to feel safe around a lot of power, right? And it's a whole bunch of pieces of it. But I could have never predicted that. However, when that is what gets flushed up along the process, my energy is oh, who would have thought that that's what I needed to learn, that was a lesson I needed to learn to get to the goal that I have for myself? I wouldn't have guessed that. I didn't know. And so that is the difference in the energy is like, okay, let's say that it's the refocus. Like, okay, I'm hopping into refocus. I'm going to do this. I'm going to learn the skill to show up powerfully in my business and back and refocus anytime I get off track. The energy that I would be calling my clients to is, okay, it's going to require me growing to this human being because how I've showed up has not created the results that I want. I'm open to whatever lessons come up. Like, okay, universe, God, like really, no kidding. I'm open. I'm ready. What do you got for me? I'll do the work. I'm willing to do the work now. And then whatever gets flushed up is what gets flushed up. But don't, like, what's the point in trying to predict it? We could never. Because if you were able to predict it, it already would be something that you would have been able to shift. Like, it doesn't even make sense that you would be able to predict it, right? And it's not, you're not going to be correct anyways. You're going to be really incorrect if you're trying to predict it. Yeah, no, that's exactly what happens. Totally, something totally random happens out of left field. No, you're right on track. That is exactly what happens. And it's never what you, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's never what you think it's going to be. Never. Hashtag shit. I feel like some crazy what happened at work and allowed me to find my voice, create my boundary and move the, thank you. You just played that out. Exactly. The energy is, how is this for me? That's it. Just, okay, everything is for me. I'm calling this in. I said I wanted to grow to this level. I said that I wanted to go here. I saw myself as this human being. I saw myself being this level of powerful, this level of savvy. I see that as myself, and I understand that the way I'm showing up now is not that person. I'm going to decide to be that person. And as I step into that human being, as I call that in, as I'm showing up today as that human being, as I'm investing in myself, as I'm moving forward, as I'm keeping the tension and the pressure on, I'm not relieving the pressure so I can show up like a shit and then, you know, everything's fine. It's okay if I show up shitty because I'm a powerful human being and I can create regular results like regular people without even actually thinking about it. So who cares? I don't really have to try. I'm going to continue to be complacent. I'm not going to put the pressure on, right? We show up, we put the pressure on, and as we do, this stuff gets flushed up. It's like the lessons come, and if you're looking for how it's for you, if you're like, okay, I know this is for me, so then what would I do with this? Then you get to get the maximum amount of results and growth from it. All that happens to other people is the same thing happens. They step into an arena, but they have no clue what's happening. They have absolutely no idea or no awareness in the moment that what's happening is for them. And if they're willing to be present with themselves and they're willing to be intentional and they're willing to be focused, then they can actually maximize the results that they get out of the arena that they just stepped into. And you will get 10 times the results that another human being who's has no awareness of this would get because they just don't know. And they're going to be negative and they're going to blame and they're going to be like, see, something's wrong with you, something's wrong with me, something's wrong with the world. And then things are going to be worse and they're going to drain their energy more. Whereas we show up in that container and we expand and we blossom and we become powerful human beings who change the world because of the exact same circumstance. Only we had a different vision and we had a different skill set. That's the difference. So when it's happening, you are right on track. And this is what to feel safe, this is the question I ask myself. The question I ask myself is, am I contributing to this? So in other words, let's say if it was a situation at work and there was some kind of drama, the first thing I would ask myself is like, if I'm being the highest level version of me, am I showing up in a way here where I can clean up any of my energy? Am I contributing to any of the drama, the mess, the problem, the circumstance, etc.? Most of the time, it's no. Most of the time, it's like no. But definitely sometimes there's like, oh, yes. Like, you did this, you need to apologize. Or you didn't show up and back this. Or you know, whatever. Something was out of integrity, and I will correct that, right? I will clean that up. So the first, and that just makes me feel safe. Because when shit's blowing up, I want to know that I'm not blowing it up myself because I have some kind of pattern running. All right, that's scary. I get that. That's scary to feel like I might be fucking up. Like nobody likes to feel that way. So when I will look at it and just have a really honest conversation with myself, like, okay, am I contributing to this in any way? And I will clean up whatever it is, and then I will release that, and I'll be like, okay, now what am I resisting, and what can I surrender to learn the lesson here to get the maximum amount of growth? Right? And that's when all the expansion and all the amazing things happen. And that's also the power where we get to release the tension of like, this was supposed to look a certain way, or this isn't going, like something bad's going to happen if I don't hurry up and race through this lesson. And like, no, that's all the ways that we keep the lesson going and we keep the resistance going, and we don't get all the rewards on the other side by trying to resist it or control it or predict it or all the things that we do, which is 100% why we are distracted and why we don't know the ability to refocus. It's 100% why. So all we're doing is rewiring this pattern. All we're doing is resetting this on the inside, and we're flicking the switch on the inside so that instinctively we're doing something different when that stuff happens, and we're learning actually how to come from the inside of being able to have that level of focus required for us to bring the results that we're looking to bring into the world, and that we were willing to step into that and back it. Powerful message this morning. I needed to hear this, went through this last night. Oh, I'm so glad, Pam. I'm so glad it served you. I know a lot is coming out today. I don't even know how long I've been on this live. It's really funny. Oh, I love that you say mostly no. Yes, that's how I felt, but realizing the triggers around old traumas was present at the beginning. Yeah. Oh yeah, Mandy, you're 100% on track. You trust yourself, sister. You're really powerful. You see this very clearly. You're good. And you're seeing the rewards. You're seeing how it was for you. Like, you're showing up really powerfully. I've been doing a lot of refocus work since Thursday while I'm away. Thanks. You're so welcome. Hi, Narissa. Okay. I don't even know how to capture this. Normally I capture this for an email, but there's so much. I'm just going to say in the email tons of random powerful things all over the place. If you are just hopping on, hashtag I'm here. We're no longer doing hashtag replay. If you would like to drop your biggest aha out of this live for me below, that would actually help me to come up with a blurb for this Facebook Live, because I just gave tons of random things, whatever came up. You're welcome, Mandy. Yeah, if you're coming on, go back and watch from the beginning. There was definitely some powerful stuff in here. The new program going on is called Refocus. We begin Monday. It's 4 weeks, powerful shifts in order to be able to flick that switch and refocus to generate in your business. We just got to let the thing be the thing. It's what matters. It is the thing. We're going to allow that to be the thing that matters. You're welcome, Pam. MandyPerry.com/refocus. The giveaway is still going on. The giveaway is $97 for the 30-day program. It's just a giveaway, like literally so powerful. I know a lot of people are asking about this. The Happy and Wealthy Experience is still open. So that's where you have access to me daily. I'm in the group with you guys, loving on you guys. And yes, Diamond Mastermind has spots available. A couple people were asking about that as well. And I do have one-on-one. Yes, one person asked about that. I do have one-on-one. The Diamond Mastermind is $3,500 a month. The one-on-one is $5,500 a month. And the Happy and Wealthy Experience is $997 a month. So those are the prices if people are curious. Really, Refocus is the power behind this skill is really next level. So those are all the things that are being offered right now. Refocus begins Monday live in the group. Also, for people who don't like to do it on Facebook, yes, I've got a couple questions about this as well. Oh, I'm remembering all the questions right now. I'm so proud of myself. All the programs I run, you get an email. So if you don't like to do it in the Facebook group, if like the chatter and the stuff, like for some people, they just don't like that, I recommend being in the group. It's a really powerful container. I create a powerful container and my energy is in there as well. So you will calibrate to me. So I do recommend it. However, you don't have to. You can use the membership site area and watch the replays, and you will get an email of the content every single day anyways, or every single week, however much the content's going on. So you're totally able to do this as a self-study as well. Any of the programs that I run, that's true for. PM Mandy. Oh, thank you, Susan. I wonder if you found my laptop. Oh, she dropped the links for everything. Thank you, Susan. Yes, show up for yourself and have the life you want. Yes, Janine. 100, girl. The reason I can handle the pressure is because I trust myself and it becomes good anxiety. Janet's biggest aha. Yes, girl. Yes, it does. And remember, I know you've heard this, but I'm just going to apply it to that. Anxiety is nothing more than something you're predicting a negative outcome for. So like if it's good pressure, but I feel actually anxious, it's because I'm predicting something negative. If you're predicting something positive, you shift into excitement. So anxiety becomes excitement because of what you're focused on. I'm focused on what if this screws up? What if this doesn't work? I'm going to feel anxiety. If I'm focused on, oh my God, this is it. I'm finally doing it. All the things are beginning to happen now. Then you're going to feel excitement. End of story. So it's just a focus shift. Yes. Okay. I'm going to get off now before I go into some other random topics. Thank you for dropping your thank you for dropping your biggest aha below. Hashtag I'm here if you're on the replay. Share the video if you got value, and just say hi to me if you're new so I can come say hi to you. Let me know that you're new, and my people just send some love because I love you. Okay, guys, have a fantastic day. I can't wait to see those of you who join in the group. On Monday, we start first thing. That's it. Doing it right now. End of story. I'm always supported and so right on track. And this messiness is just an expressive. It is. And it gets to feel graceful and easy too. Even when it's not, it just gets to feel that way. Like, oh, this is just what it looks like. Cool. She is brilliant. Okay, guys, I love you. Have a fantastic day.